Now then, Steve Waugh, legendary captain of Australian cricket. The Aussies have just hammered the English 6-1 in the one days, but of course in the Ashes it was 3-1 to England. So, happy, unhappy? Where do you stand?
I think the country's pretty unhappy. We lost the Ashes. I mean, that was where it's really at for all Australians watching. The Ashes has built up to this amazing series, which it is, a lot of tradition and history. We expected to perform better. I don't think we mind losing, but by such commanding margins are not something we're used to, and that really, was disappointing for not only the players but spectators. And I guess Cricket Australia's got to do a bit of a review and find out what went wrong. One-day cricket, great result for Australia. It's still ranked number one in the world, and it's almost a different form of the game, so we can't really look at them together. You've almost got to assess them in isolation.
Well, we'll get on to the one-day cricket in a minute. I mean, you won a lot of Ashes. Did you actually lose an Ashes series at all?
Unfortunately, I lost my first one in 1986 when Mike Gadding, they won all the competitions. Lost that one, we won the next 8.
Right, but in 86, as you well know, Alan Border's team, you were losing quite a few. You lost quite a few to start with before you became a great team. Now, here we are. These things are cyclical. This Australian team have lost a lot of great players pretty much at the same time. You don't overnight replace Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, Matty Hayden, Adam Gilchrist, etc.
Yeah, I tend to disagree a little bit. We haven't lost them all together. It's been a gradual process if you look at it. It's been over a 5, 6, 7 year period. So we've had opportunities to blood other players, and we've got a lot of talent. We've got some good young kids coming through, particularly in the bowling area. I don't think we're going to be too far from the mark. Maybe it may take 12 months to get back into Test cricket, 18 months, but we'll be up near the top somewhere. There's so many good young players out there, and we've still got plenty of experience. I think this Ashes series really was the players let themselves down. They'll say they played poorly.
I was going to ask you, was it Australia playing badly? Was it England playing well? Bit of both?
It's always a bit of both, I mean, someone plays well, you put enormous pressure on the opposition, and things sort of tend to go bad to worse when you try extra hard to recover the situation. I know what it's like when we played England. We're up against good sides on paper, but once we get on top, it's hard to turn it around. And to England's credit, they played thorough all-round cricket. There wasn't any facet of the game that was weak, and I thought their fielding was excellent, and their togetherness on the field really showed up, and they just put so much pressure on Australia that they cracked them up.
As a man who was pretty hard to get out, who would kill before he'd lose his wicket, you must have been impressed with Alistair Cook, who came to Australia supposedly under pressure. And just had the dream series.
Amazing series. I mean, he played superbly well, and I think not only him, Jonathan Trott really has added some spine to England's batting. And that's someone they've been missing for quite a while. He's very underrated with the job he does. I think he annoys opposition teams with the amount of time he takes scratching out centre, and he goes about his own little routine, much the same way Matthew Hayden did. It's all about, you've got to wait for me until I'm ready, and that can put opposition teams off. So he played a crucial role, but Cook batting was superb. His temperament, fitness, and concentration were really a great example to his teammates.
Yeah, and the bowlers as well, they put people in the right areas, and when Bresnan and Tremlett had to come in, not known particularly to be test match wicket takers, they did the job.
They worked very well as a unit. I mean, they just exceptionally, the 4 or 5 bowlers did a great job together. A lot of credit's got to be given to Andy Flower and Andrew Strauss, to make them work as a unit. They didn't seem to be selfish in any regard. They were happy for other players to get the rewards. It was a very comprehensive bowling effort, and it's similar to what I guess we used to do when we were on top. Guys working together, keeping pressure on from both ends, putting balls in the right areas, and of course backing out with good catching.
Now, without taking anything away from Australia in the one-day series, the last time England came to Australia, they lost 5-0 in the Ashes, and then I think won the one-day series reasonably comfortably. Is there something going on here where once you've won the Ashes, it's such an effort, such an intense period of time that it's very hard to maintain it?
Yeah, definitely, and I think also the fact that players got their eye on the World Cup and IPL. It was almost like, geez, we've got to play the one days now, and 7 especially, it was way too many. But for Australia, it was great because it gave players a chance to prove themselves, to get into a bit of rhythm. I think Australia definitely had a lot more to play for than England, and whilst it was 6-1 and a great result, you probably can't read too much into that result.
No, bad result for England though in terms of the World Cup. I mean, there is a World Cup. England have never won the World Cup. Australia defending champions. I guess, even though it's a different format of the game, coming into the World Cup on the back of the Ashes wouldn't necessarily be great. Coming into it on the back of a 6-1 win over England, things are looking very different for Australia and maybe England.
I think more worrying for England is the amount of injuries they got in the last couple of weeks, and Australia also. There was, I think players are almost, they were worried about getting injured, and that's seen a lot of players fatigued, and it wasn't great planning when you look at it, particularly from England's point of view, being away from home and your family for 3 months. They really wilted in the end, and they may pay the price going to the World Cup, losing a couple of players through injury.
Yeah. So Australia are not far off, are they? I mean, they've got some good young players. They've got to stick with them, I guess, haven't they?
Yeah, look, we've got some real talent. I mean, Steve Smith, perfect example. He's not the finished product, but he's got a lot of natural talent, and if you can give him the confidence that he's going to be in the side, he's going to develop into a match winner. So we've certainly got talent.
Impossible question to answer. Who's going to win the World Cup? I guess it's one of, 5 maybe?
One of 7. I think the West Indies have got a shot at it.
You seriously think so, yeah?
They get on the run, they've got the batsmen who are capable of beating any attack up, and they'll do it. Make the quarterfinals, they're going to go win 3 games. My gut feeling is South Africa. I don't know why, I've just got a gut feeling they may win it. Australia are going to be somewhere there, and you couldn't count out India and Sri Lanka.
Yeah, what about the World 2020 champions? Who would have thought it? England.
Are they?
You know they are.
Well, good luck to them.